A long, long time ago in Egypt, a baby named Moses was born during a difficult time for his people, the Israelites. The Pharaoh, fearing their increasing numbers, decreed that all Israelite baby boys must be taken away. To protect her son, Moses' mother devised a brave plan. She placed him in a basket and gently set it among the reeds of the Nile River. The Pharaoh's daughter found the basket while bathing in the river, and her heart was touched by the crying baby. She decided to take Moses in and raise him as her own.
I cannot let them take you, my son. I will do everything to protect you. May God watch over you.
What is this? A baby? Who would leave a child by the river? Oh, you poor little thing. Don't cry, I will take care of you.
Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, enjoying the privileges of royalty despite his true heritage. He was educated and cared for as a prince. But he couldn't ignore the suffering of his people. He often saw how harshly the Israelites were treated, forced to work tirelessly, and subjected to cruel punishments. These observations filled Moses with a deep sense of injustice.
This palace is so big, there are so many places to explore. But why do those men out there look so sad?
You are like a prince. Moses, you belong here, in this palace, among the nobility of Egypt.
One day, Moses witnessed an Egyptian guard beating an Israelite slave. Unable to bear the sight, he intervened and, in a moment of anger, killed the guard, realizing the gravity of his actions and fearing for his safety. Moses fled Egypt and escaped to a distant land. His heart was heavy with the burden of what he had done and the fate of his people.
Stop. How dare you treat him like this? Enough. Strikes the guard, this has to end.
You dare strike an Egyptian. You'll pay for this.
Moses settled in a distant land, starting a new life far from the grandeur of Egypt. He worked as a shepherd and lived among the local people. Though he had found peace, he often reflected on his past and the suffering of his people. Little did he know, his life was about to take a miraculous turn.
What have I done? I can never return to Egypt. This land, these people, I must make a new life here.
You're welcome to stay here, friend. Life is simple, but the peace of the desert is all we need.
One day, while tending his sheep, Moses encountered a sight unlike any other, a bush that burned with intense flames but was not consumed. As he approached, the voice of God spoke from the bush, calling his name. God revealed a divine plan. Moses was to return to Egypt and demand the Pharaoh set the Israelites free.
Moses, Moses, do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground.
Who are you, Lord? What do you want from me?
I am the God of your ancestors. I have heard the cries of my people. You must go back to Egypt and lead them to freedom.
Moses returned to Egypt, bringing God's message to the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But the Pharaoh was stubborn and refused to heed the request. Unwilling to give in, he continued to oppress the Israelites. As a result, God decided to send a series of plagues to persuade the Pharaoh to change his mind.
I cannot ignore his call. I must return to Egypt, no matter the danger.
You return to demand freedom for your people. Do you really think you have the power to challenge me, Moses?
It is not my power you should fear, Pharaoh, but the power of the God who sent me.
God unleashed 10 plagues upon Egypt to convince the Pharaoh. There were frogs everywhere, swarms of insects, and even darkness that fell during the day. Each plague was a powerful sign of God's will, demonstrating the urgency and severity of the message. After enduring the plagues, the Pharaoh finally relented and agreed to let the Israelites go. The Israelites quickly prepared to leave, seizing the chance for freedom. Moses led them out of Egypt with a mixture of relief and hope, eager to start their journey to a new land.
Enough. Take your people and leave, Moses. But know this, I will not forget this day.
Gather your things quickly. We leave tonight. Freedom awaits us.
Finally, we are leaving this place of suffering. Thank you, Moses, thank you.
As they journeyed, they reached the Red Sea. With the Pharaoh's army in pursuit, Moses trusted in God. He stretched out his hand, and miraculously, the sea parted, creating a dry path for the Israelites. They walked through the sea, leaving the pursuing army behind.
Do not fear. Stand firm and watch the salvation of the Lord. Parts the sea walk through quickly before Pharaoh's army reaches us.
The sea. It's parting. Truly the Lord is with us. Hurry, let's go.
After them. We must catch them before they escape.
Once the Israelites were safely on the other side, the sea returned to its normal state. The Pharaoh's army, still in pursuit, was overwhelmed by the returning waters and drowned. The Israelites were finally free from their oppressors, having witnessed a miraculous escape.
Lord, close the sea behind us. Protect your people from harm.
The waters. They're closing in. Retreat, retreat, retreat.
We are safe. We are truly free. Praise be to the Lord.
After their miraculous escape, the Israelites traveled to Mount Sinai. There, Moses ascended the mountain, where God gave him the 10 Commandments on stone tablets. These commandments were to guide the Israelites on how to live justly and honor God. With the 10 Commandments in hand, Moses addressed the Israelites, sharing the divine laws that would guide their lives. They embraced the commandments with hope and gratitude. Their journey was far from over, but they now had the guidance they needed to build a just and compassionate society.
These are the commandments of the Lord. Follow them, and you will live in peace and righteousness.
We will follow your guidance, Moses. Lead us to the promised land.
Our journey continues, but with the Lord's guidance, we will find our way forward to the land promised to us.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fun songs as well as interesting and enjoyable stories.